Hello, this is May 22, 2013. This is our bi-weekly Ichimoku analysis for the global markets. We actually haven't done a video for about a month now, almost about a month now since we last did a video. Uh, markets just being continuously trending. There's no need to pretty much repeat the same thing over and over every week. Also, we've been doing a lot of traveling, so give you guys an update on all the markets this week, including the global stock market. So let's get started. This is a normal disclaimer procedure. This is for education use only. We're not soliciting you to buy or sell any particular instruments. If you do so, you're doing that at your own risk. All the charts today you're going to see are pretty much from eSignal. Okay, here are our contact details here. You can contact us in our office locations here, emails here, or you could go to ichimokutrade.com, access any of our free educational videos out there, along with our, you can sign up for a 30-day free trial on our multiple time frame emails, and so forth. So let's begin, and let's go straight to the charts. And as we normally do, let's go start off in Europe. And okay, we got our charts corrected. Remember on the left-hand side, um, actually these charts are flipped, so let me change this real fast. Okay, on the left-hand side, we basically have the daily time frame. On the right-hand side, we have the weekly time frame, mainly focusing on the weekly time frame because that's really what matters for a long-term picture. As we stated before, we're going to start off with the UK market first. And if you look here, the FTSE right now, we've broken a major resistance this week, which is at 67.49. That's been a major resistance for the UK. That's been pretty much holding for years. We have pretty much gone above it. Really doesn't mean anything right now. The key is where we're going to close this week. As we mentioned, we're kind of I would say about almost 45 points above it right now, but the key is going to be where do we close by the end of this week. If we close above that, then we kind of officially broken it, but if we haven't, then pretty much that resistance is still holding moving forward. And you kind of want to see the next couple of weeks price above that resistance in order to confirm is this is not a game someone's playing or something like that. Next is going to be the German market. If you look at the German market, the DAX, if you could see here, it broke its resistance of 81.45 from the last time we pretty much mapped out the resistance to be. In the last month, it's broken that with vengeance, and it's gone to a real high now, which is its ultimate high, really, if you look here. So we're in the German market. We've now hit an all-time high, and we're proceeding to move higher up there. This resistance we broke is going to be pretty much our support moving forward, which is 81.45. Our short-term support's going to be about 83.50 for the German market. So Germany is still leading Europe right now. Well, but between everything that we pretty much have talked about so far, Paris market's gone up, but we're getting ready to hit a major resistance of 40.59. Sorry, 40.49. So it's not like the UK and the German market, which pretty much has blown the roofs off their all-time highs. Amsterdam, if you look at Amsterdam, we're getting very close. We're pretty much hitting major resistance at 371.54. Support's going to be 357 on that one. Spain is pretty much hitting resistance again at 86.51. It's got to break that resistance in order to go higher. If it does, the next one it's going to run into is about 90.33, but that's about 350 pips. It can move to the next resistance. Italy, really not doing much right now except consolidating, just like the Spain market. Next resistance on this one's going to be about 17,847. Support's going to be 16,541. Nordic, remember these were leading Europe for the longest time, especially last year. You could see from the huge movement up. Right now they're not. They've really slowed down now, where people pretty much shifted from these countries, from Norway, Denmark, and even in Switzerland, you're going to see in a minute, to more towards the Germany and the UK side, stuff like that. And also other countries outside of Europe. So if you look here, the next resistance is basically going to be 1200. Support on this one's going to be about 1158. Oslo, another one of those countries that was leading ahead. Right now, it's pretty much butting against a resistance, which is 496.50. Switzerland, if you look at Switzerland here, Switzerland, you could see it's moving back up, but it hesitated here at the big, right here, and you're kind of getting to a major resistance, which is 83.87. Okay, so you got to watch what happens on that one once it gets there. Let's go over to Russia. Russia, if you look at it, really not doing much of anything at all. Let's just say this is our resistance here, which is pretty much right around 1184. We're not quite there yet. Support's going to be around 1410. Okay. Israel, kind of skipping around a couple of places here in Europe. We're doing that. You could see from Israel here, we've broken the resistance at 4100, and we're pretty much at its all-time high now. So, this is making new highs too, along with Germany and the UK. So Israel, Germany, UK are pretty much making new highs now. And they've broken their resistance in the last month. Turkey here has broken out of its little consolidation pattern here by breaking 46.65, and you can see Turkey is also on making new highs right now. Austria is against resistance. Wow, this is not even Austria. Let's not even go there. I was the wrong one. This is not even Greece. Okay, South Africa, moving on to South Africa. You could see this big consolidation pattern here, and you could see within the last 2 weeks, especially last week, this thing just moved with vengeance going up. It's gone really, really high up there. And you could see that. Okay, so that's South Africa. Let's go over to the Middle East. This is Saudi Arabia here. Saudi Arabia, if you look here, broken that resistance, which has pretty much been hanging around there for a couple of weeks. Finally broke it this week so far. Broke it at 71.89, which is now support. Next resistance on Saudi Arabia market is going to be 74.35. Next is going to be Dubai. Remember, Dubai and Abu Dhabi have pretty much been going higher and higher. And Dubai is pretty much continuing its journey to go to all-time highs. It's continued to make new highs and so forth moving forward. Nothing really to talk about on that one. Abu Dhabi, still the same thing. It's very, very strong, just like the Dubai market. So nothing really talked about there. Qatar, if you look here, it's pretty much got moved up drastically to its resistance here. Actually, this is not even the index, that's the stock. Kuwait, no, that's a stock too. We're working on getting these exchanges, and that's not real either. So that's pretty much it for the Middle East. Let's go over to Asia. Remember, we're looking to China bounce off this major support, which it did, which was right around here at 23.06. It bounced off that resistance and pretty much now gone straight up to bounced up to support at 2300, and now gone straight into resistance, which is basically around 2409, 2415. It's holding here right now, so it's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens here. If this breaks it, then it's going to have a chance to go to the top of the consolidation pattern. If not, this thing may make a move to make a tighter consolidation pattern and possibly can sit there and start to go bearish. So this week is going to be very critical to kind of see exactly where we end up with. Hong Kong, if you look at Hong Kong, really not much doing anything at all, kind of like the Chinese. It's pretty much at a major resistance right now, which is at 23,418. It's kind of key to see exactly what it does here. Korea, not much doing except consolidating. Next resistance is going to be 262. Japan was making all-time highs, and you could see it's continuing to do so. It's an amazing run this thing has had since 2012 from 9,000. We're pretty much at 15,000. So we're almost at a point of doubling the whole market, doing a 100% increase in less than 1 year, which is pretty incredible to begin with. The Indian Nifty, it's pretty much at a resistance at 6180. Let's go look at the Sensex. Sensex pretty much It broke the 20,158 level last week. Now we kind of need to see it pretty much stay above that level for the next couple of weeks. If it does, then it has a potential to go on higher. If it doesn't, then it's going to sit there and come back all the way down to about 20,000. And then the real major support is going to be 19,254, which has pretty much got a hold moving forward. So that's the Indian market. Singapore, it's pretty much been moving up for the last month and for a while now, as you could see. So it's been on a vengeance going up. It's been actually, this is not even the Singapore market. This is a stock. So ignore that comment. We'll have to look that up in a minute. This is a Malaysian market here. Pretty much they had elections, it popped out. It pretty much broke to a all-time high again, made a new high again here, broke out of that consolidation pattern. And it's pretty much holding right now. Support on this one's going to be 1720 moving forward. Australia, it's pretty much, if you look here, broke a resistance at 51.24. Next resistance is going to run into now at 23.20. Sorry, 53.20. New Zealand, which was trending huge, second compared to Japan, if you look at it, and it's pretty much making continuing its journey upwards. And this thing has, you could see here, moved up drastically too. Since kind of 2012, and you could see this big move here, 3,200, and it's at 4,600 now. So this thing has moved up, not as much as the Japanese market, but has moved up drastically. Let's go back to Asia again. Indonesia, it's been moving up. It's on its all-time high too. It's broken that 5,000 level, so it's actually trying to get to 5,500, believe it or not. But it's still very strong moving forward. Thailand here, Thailand's moving up too. It's at an all-time high. Philippines, if you look at Philippines, is moving up too. So all these little countries in Southeast Asia are pretty much moving up drastically also, except for Vietnam. If you look here, bounced off 14,710, bounced off that. Next support is going to be around 14,000. So we'll have to see exactly what happens there. Let's go over to the Americas. Let's start from South America this time and kind of wrap up with the U.S. That's not even, Venezuela is not even a good chart. Brazil here bounced off the support at 52,449, which was good, which is pretty much the bottom of the consolidation pattern that's pretty much be defined. It's at a minor resistance now. The major resistance is going to be 57,804. Santiago, Chile is pretty much consolidating here. It's at a major support at 42.32. Argentina popped up here in the last couple of weeks. Now it's pretty much here at a major support. The support's got to hold in order for Argentina to start a trend, excuse me, to the top side. So the support on this one's going to be about 35.60. Resistance on this one, of course, is going to be around 4,000. Colombia, if you look at Colombia, it moved up a little. It's right at resistance right now at 13,540. So it's going to be see what happens there. Mexico, that was leading this going up. Look what's happened now. It's kind of did a pullback. It's at a major, one of the major supports, which is at basically 40,675. Next one, if it breaks, that one's going to be around 39,408. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly which one is going to bounce off very soon. Canada, really not doing anything except consolidating. It's at one of the levels at the top of the consolidation pattern, which is 12,768. If it breaks that, it's going to be 12,900. Over to the U.S. side, now we're pretty much going to go hit NASDAQ, Dow, and the S&P are all making new highs. Support on this one's going to be around 2,900 for the NASDAQ. S&P, as we talked about, is continuing to move forward. The support now is going to be 1603, and Dow here is going to be basically 14,852. Okay, so if you look at America, it's pretty much the U.S. market from the Dow, NASDAQ, and the 500 all making new time highs, except for the next, yeah. Actually, is the NASDAQ making new highs? I can't even remember. Let's just squeeze this up. Nope, not new highs yet because 4,800 there. S&P and the Dow basically make new highs. But either way, all the U.S. markets are going up. Toronto, Canada is pretty much at a major resistance. Mexico is doing a pullback, and really Brazil and none of them pretty much are moving at all as far as everything else in America. So pretty much the U.S. market is the hottest on the America side. If you look at Asia, Japan is still very, very, very strong, along with all the small little countries from from Indonesia to Thailand to Philippines and so forth. Next, pretty much becomes New Zealand when you start going to South Asia. China and Hong Kong really not even involved right now because they're not doing that much. If we go over to Europe, you can have UK and Germany making all-time highs. France is hitting resistance, so is Amsterdam and so forth. Switzerland finally, if you look here at Switzerland here, still going up, but it's getting to a major resistance now. So that's there, and then you have South Africa there, which is booming too. And then if you go over to the Middle East, Abu Dhabi and Dubai are still very, very strong compared to the rest of the markets there, and even some countries in Europe and the Americas. So again, the summary is in Americas is pretty much U.S. If you go to Asia, Southeast Asia, you're looking more of the Asian countries over there. You're looking at Japan, and then the small countries like Indonesia, Philippines, and Thailand. And then South Asia is pretty much New Zealand. And then if you come across to the Middle East, you're pretty much looking at Dubai and Abu Dhabi as the countries that are leading. That's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. I will speak to you in 2 weeks. Thank you.